Hello, everyone, and welcome to the King of Beta tournament. Today, we are going to be watching Eva versus Atmaz. Game 1, obviously, it is going to be me, the Purple Pansy, casting along with Volky. Say hello, Volky.
Hi, everybody.
Full name Vulkenhyn. I don't actually know how you pronounce that. Oh well.
Yeah, that's right.
But, yeah, this is the first match that I will be casting for King of Beta, and I hope it's going to be a lot of fun. It might not be. Might be a thrashing. Might be domination.
Yeah, I would imagine that most of the people who've been invited to this are of a very high skill level, so we're probably going to see some very good games.
Yeah, Eva has been he's been around for a while. He's definitely one of the more silent members of the community, more likely to just sit on top of the rank ladder dominating it, and he's actually a Rats and Bunnies member now, which is lovely. Atmaz, on the other hand, as we all know, is a community manager, and also a very good player. Definitely on the community side more well known, but we'll see how the match goes. We'll see if he can bring some Mojang Fury down on Eva. I'm gonna jump right into the decks that both of them chose for this match. Atmaz's deck on the left is a mono energy deck, and Eva is gonna be running a decay deck, which in the past we've seen decay has lots of advantages on energy, specifically that poison doesn't really go too well when you're dealing with a bunch of structures. But this looks like a pretty typical energy deck coming out from Atmaz. You got copper autos, gun autos. Doesn't seem to be a Gravelock deck.
Yeah, and the lack of the forge definitely tilts it more in the realm of a pure ranged deck. And Atmaz, one of the big problems that I could see it running into here is that Eva is running a derivation on curse that is, or a derivation on decay that is very curse based, and a lot of the ranged energy units have low health just as their base health. So they're going to take a beating from that curse, especially when Baleful Witch comes into play. The Baleful Witch Bloodline Tank combo I expect to be a pretty potent combo in this matchup.
Yeah, it doesn't even seem like Atmaz is going up very far. The highest cost unit he has here is Gravelock Elder.
Yeah, well, there's just not really, unless you're going to spring for the champion. There's not really anything that's worth getting in the range past that point.
Yeah, you could maybe go for cannon autos, but he's kind of staying.
The general stance on cannon autos is that they're not worth it for the cost. They need something else to be worth it. I've heard piercing being tossed around, but it's definitely got to be something.
Mm-hmm.
A 6-drop that doesn't really have an ability just is completely outclassed by most other 6-drops in this game.
Mm-hmm. Alright, we're going to jump right into the game. This is going to be a replay, so I'm going to have to play and pause. If you guys don't know how the replay mod works,
God, look at that hat.
When it plays, it goes super fast, so we're going to try to stay with the action. I don't have too much experience with the replay mod, so if things go too fast for a moment, or they're going too slow, oh well, we'll figure it out. Atmaz has a lovely Mojang hat, if you guys have never seen that. It's absolutely beautiful. Jump right in. Atmaz's first hand is pretty good.
Yeah, it's got a nice curve to it. And the piercing projectile might come in handy because reaching those center line decay units that are generally the units that profiteer the most off of units dying is going to be paramount in kind of keeping Eva's board from going out of control.
Now he did whoop. See, I don't know how to do this. He actually did mulligan. He got 2 hired smugglers when he mulliganed.
And you know that's probably going to be an even better hand at the end of the day.
Excuse me while I fidget with the replay mod. Did I just break it?
No, I think it's fine. I think it just goes in like the time scale. That
It says going.
yeah.
We are going somewhere, everyone. We are heading towards a destination.
Yeah, and I expect Eva maybe to ditch this hand.
Just because the Necro and Oblivion Seeker, which are a little too high.
Yeah.
Well, he does have an Ilmater Tribesman, which is a good 2-drop.
Yeah, it is, but generally, I would imagine that he has the 2-drop and the 3-drop, but Baleful Witch really isn't that good of just a base drop. You really want to use her in combination with other things.
That was totally broken. We're going back in. I'm not going to press the going to anymore. Alright, here we go. Maybe we can actually get a spot at what he mulligans and gets here. Hired Smugglers, Storm Runner, Tempest Reaver. I'd say that's better, just to get the Hired Smugglers out.
Going to be important.
Stays with that hand.
He is well, he does have a Harvester, which he can drop. He can drop a turn 3 Harvester, and that's all. Power piece, 4 decay. Yeah, so he ditches the Baleful Witch. Not as useful.
Oh, he's actually gonna sack the Harvester. Oh, what the? Okay.
Well, he drew a Rod Eater. I think Rod Eater is definitely
Rod
the
Eater's
play
definitely
there.
better, and he's got the curve to keep going for these two if he wants it. And he hasn't sacked for scrolls yet, but once he gets to Oblivion Seeker, he kind of gets a break.
Yeah, and
He does want to go that way.
one big thing about the Energy Decay matchup is that if you can get that Rod Eater to consume like one adjacent unit, it gets it outside of the range of burn, which takes away a lot of the removal pressure that Energy has.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is he gonna draw this? He draws his useless contraption. Atmaz loves useless contraption.
Well, I mean, it's it's 4 health for 1. It's a really good blocker unit.
Yeah.
It gets a Languid on the Storm Runner, which is always going to be a good thing. I'm guessing he's betting on the Storm Runner sticking around because he applied the Mire Curse to it, and that's going to break through because it's magic. That's going to break through.
It's gonna break through Tempest Reaver's armor.
Tempest Reaper's armor.
Yeah, we've already seen all the posts, all the everything, all the updates on magic armor and physical armor, and poison's a really good way to go against these guys that have the physical armor.
Yeah, at the moment.
Magical. Now he did Machinated to get rid of the Languid, and that was a board wipe, so that was pretty.
Yeah, and really, like the Languid is pretty much countered by the Machinated in this particular matchup because he's not going to really have any units that have over 5 health. So he's going to be able to take out pretty much everything with that Dust Runner as long as it stays on the field.
Storm Runner.
Storm Runner, yeah.
But he's Eva's getting out units that, since he's behind, he's getting out units that he doesn't mind if they die. Just if they die in the right way. And Bloodline Taint.
Yeah, and I think the Bloodline Taint Baleful Witch combo is going to be very important to him here. So he damages the Canonetta just so that he can get that Infectious Blight tick to go ahead and automatically kill her. And I think Infectious Blight is another really powerhouse enchantment that he's going to have in this particular matchup, because normally you go into Energy and you kind of expect Infectious Blight to not be nearly as useful because they can kind of just let you wipe their board except for their Meta Forges, and still have a presence on the board,
Mm-hmm.
but with the lack of the automated forges, he's going to have a really hard time keeping presence on the board while getting rid of Infectious Blight unless he wants to use his removal, which is just going to kill his tempo.
Yeah. It actually looked like Eva made a little bit of a mistake there. He left his Blight Bearer in the middle lane, and Atmaz could move the Stormrunner up and kill it. If he moved it up to the top lane to escape, he might have been able to poison the other Stormrunner. It's possible that he might have wanted to make the positioning happen here.
But if he had moved it up, then Atmaz probably could have just moved away. I mean, he would have gotten the Stormrunner, but I don't think... I think that Atmaz probably could have positioned around it regardless, really.
Atmaz sparking his own Stormrunner to get rid of that.
Not only spark, but double spark.
Yeah.
And so, like, even though that Infectious Blight is not taking out units anymore, that is a net benefit for Eva, because he now has a pretty amazing card advantage from forcing Atmaz to do that.
Atmaz saying he's still not used to the curse change.
Oh, so maybe he was expecting the original spark to take him out.
Yep, that's possible.
Yeah.
Baleful Witch is only going to hit Stormrunner there, but it's going to put it in Soulsteel range.
He's got to watch out for that Echomaton, but I think the Echomaton's not going to be a huge problem for very long. It's going to be increasingly problematic the longer it stays on the field. Now that he has 2 on the field, that kind of spreads out the threat, and so it might end up being a problem. Because this deck uses a lot of spells as removal.
Might see some Shambler RNG coming up.
Yeah, and you know, Shambler is an excellent unit as long as you can control its RNG, which shouldn't be that much of a problem for Eva.
Yeah, should be able to
what he's got on the
50,
field.
50. Nah, he's actually gonna get. Nah, he's gonna stay with 50-50. Nope.
100% chance.
100%
yep.
now. Good position.
Good stuff.
That Ekmaton is still down, and 5 attack. He moves it away from Witch Doctor, which I was thinking he was going to chase the Witch Doctor with that.
Well, I think
but
that
it looks like he wants Light Stealer more.
Yeah, well, the big thing is that if he had chased the Witch Doctor, I think he's in more of a range of threat, and so he's trying to keep it alive to be as effective as possible over time.
Now,
as
Minor
opposed
Curse
to...
and Infectious Blight on the same unit.
Well, I think
he's going to remove them both, and then he wants it gone. And it did take out the Witch Doctor because he did move the Witch Doctor down.
Yep.
Eva's running Halls of Umlasa. I wonder if he's going to pull that out. If he can
I
get
would imagine
a space of a turn or so where he doesn't need to do anything. He doesn't need to answer. Which is coming up because he's already board wiped almost here.
He seems pretty like he's got a pretty good lead on him, and I would imagine that Halls is probably just going to cement the lead. Halls is really kind of analogous to the Imperial Resources that we see in late game order decks, where you get this late game decay deck that can just it gets all of these extra cards, but those extra cards actually more often than not turn into both extra resources and extra cards. And so you eventually just outcompete your opposition. as far as just gross production.
First bombard from Atmaz. He's using
Yeah,
piercing projectile on that. It wasn't really that
I'm
important
not
of a
sure.
row.
Yeah, I'm not sure that that was the best piercing or the best bombard, and I'm not really sure that was the best use of piercing projectile either. But you know,
He does
he's
he does have more in his hand though.
well, yeah, but he's getting to that point where the stuff that he has left is extremely valuable.
Yeah. Misclick. I'm not sure what he misclicked there.
I don't think he meant to summon Baleful Witch.
Oh, I meant to say
Yeah.
okay. Well, machinated on. Oh.
Yeah, that's definitely going to do something.
He's got to get rid of that Reefer now. 9 attack piercing. It's pretty much a Theo right now.
Yeah, but he's got the curse presence, and so he's going to be able to take him out with relative ease just from that one attack of the Darkling.
Yep.
Or he chooses not to. Okay. So I guess he's not
He's got.
thinking that it's much of.
What was the desperation move there? I'm confused by that.
Oh, he was taking out the infectious blight that was on the.
Not used to the amount of removal energy is trying to do on itself right now. Has he kind of started trying to rush idols here?
I think that it's more that he understands that he needs to take back the board, or he needs to take board presence back from Eva, because it's getting to that point in Decay's kind of life, in the lifeline of Decay, that if Eva gets to a point where he stabilizes on the board, Atmaz is just never going to be able to take it back.
Yeah. Here's an interesting observation. Atmaz actually cycled his deck there. Now, what actually cycled his deck was the burn. I was wondering if he was going to play Bombard first without doing the burn so he could try to cycle that, because this seems pretty important for him, but I'm not sure if he noticed that. I mean, he still needed a burn, so maybe it was worth giving up the cycled Bombard.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Bombard is going to be one of the big things that's going to keep him alive in this particular matchup, because he needs to utilize the cooldown reduction that Eva does not have access to in order to take control of the field.
Gravelock Elder coming out. Gravelock Elder's value is definitely reduced from having no Gravelocks, but it's still a ranged unit, and it's at 3 attack, so if you put a piercing projectile on it, you get that even up, so that it gets all 3.
Yeah, and then they also, you know, synergize with each other. If you get 2 of them on the field, a 4/6 is nothing to scoff at.
Sadly, that Blightbearer is going to go through that armor.
He just kind of chooses to take that to the face to keep Eva from being able to use it in a.
Yeah, normally Tempest Reaver is like your tank on the field, and in this match, it's just kind of getting blown up by poison.
Yeah, Eva's doing a lot of poison spell slinging, and so that's he's not really relying on the actual combat damage of his decay units nearly as much as he's relying on his poisons and the trigger from the Baleful Witch.
Other infectious blight down. And that'll kill the copper auto.
Yep. I was wondering what he... Yeah.
Yeah, I don't... Atmaz is just going to surrender here. There's no way
It was the end of the game.
He can't even keep units down with the poison and curse going on.
I think that was, you know, kind of what I was saying at the beginning, is that it's going to be it was really difficult because the energy units really low health thresholds,
Mm-hmm.
and really to get the machinated is fine to blow through units, but to get the most utility out of it, you need to machinated and then the next turn bombard and then the next turn bombard again and then fury, and so you're just getting that constant just suppression
Mm-hmm.
of the other side, especially with those piercing units. And he just couldn't get the board in a state he wanted it. I think he would have done a lot better if he'd had forges, but even then, I'm not sure it would have worked out.
Yeah, Eva, and he was doing a good job of keeping Eva's units off the board. He wasn't letting
Yep.
him fill up the board, but like once bombards run out, it's not gonna be too good. He did surrender. He did get the idols pretty low. I was thinking he was gonna try to stick it out to go for a wild piercing projectile win or something ridiculous like that, but it was a little too high for a lot of the wimpy creatures he had to actually get a win that way. So
Yeah, he needed to establish board presence to make a big bombard gambit, and he just couldn't. He couldn't keep units on the field for more than two or three turns.
yeah, he had just used that last bombard that he knew that he had, and he had cycled his deck, but I don't think he had seen the new bombards, so he might have felt a little hopeless as far as getting units down and then bombarding.
Yeah.
But this was Atmaz versus Eva game 1. We will be back with game 2 in another video. Once again, I'm the ThePurplePanzy. Vulkenhyn
Vulkenhyn.
is casting with me today. If you guys don't know who we are, ThePurplePanzy, I cast ESL on twitch.tv/ThePurplePanzy. Volky is a humble Rats and Bunnies member who is also a mod on our Scrolls, and generally good guy who knows a lot about botany, which I think is very important. So, thanks for watching with us. We'll be back with game 2. Make sure you look for that video.